Alrighty, we are back for another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and I went ahead and summoned earlier for Micaiah, and I was able to get her in 12 summons, so what is that, like 60 orbs? Pretty good deal, I would say, if I do say so myself. One issue I have, though, is that grinding SP on colorless tomes, especially when it's not bonus like ×2 SP season, is a real pain in the neck, man. And so many things dropped last night that I had to do. So Monster Hunter dropped Title Update 2. In Pokemon Masters, they actually dropped Summer Cynthia. Like, can you believe that? How long we've been waiting on Summer Cynthia? All the way since Black and White came out, which that was over a decade ago, man. I've waited 10 plus years for Summer Cynthia, so I had to do that, and I had to grind SP for this bozo. So by the time I went to bed, it was like 6 in the morning, man. It was just pain, and then I had to wake up at 9 o'clock, so I'm basically running off of 3 hours of sleep, if even that, because most of the time I was just rolling around in bed trying to fall asleep. So yeah, that's how my day has been so far, and I can't even fully test this unit because it's really hard to get SP on her, so I can't really say yet because I don't have her A skill completed, but at the same time, I don't even think her base kit is that good, really. Like, Silent Sword is interesting, I guess, for the cooldown support at the start of your attack, but the stats are just attack and res of 4, that's not really going to cut it. I would really like her to have a better C skill, and I would like her to have a better A skill at the moment, because they gave her Crystalline Water, which neutralizes your penalties to attack and res, which is kind of a moot point. I mean, it is giving her visible attack and res, but this is not a unit that really cares about that. So, the whole purpose of this unit is to swap in and then cleanse penalties. So, why did they give her an A skill that neutralizes penalties? It doesn't really make any sense. I would much rather if she had, like, Sly Mirror or something like that, but I guess it is what it is. So, initial testing with her was actually not the greatest. She underperformed a lot worse than I thought. This is the defense that I ran for this season of 8th Raids, and I actually hate this. Like, I hate the fact that this defense, this was what I ran, and it actually worked. Like, people were struggling really bad to beat this, and we did take some losses. We had one over here. We took a -60, and we took one over here, -60 again. But for the most part, people were just having a miserable time. And even these losses, I feel like I made one little mistake when I was building it that if now we have access to the Micaiah ring, I think that's probably better. I had the Sigurd ring on Alear here. So a lot of times she's going to use drawback, or she's just going to do something. She might attack, and then she's going to Kanto 3 spaces away, and she usually goes over here, which is far away from where I want her to be. And when she does that, it's easy to pick her off, and it's easy to use, like, far attacking units, because she's my unit here that has far save. So giving her the Micaiah ring now, I think, is going to be a lot better. She can now mid-turn penalty cleanse for us, and then also she's going to be able to heal, and then she's not really going to break away with Kanto 3. I really wish you could do something about the Kanto 3 on the Sigurd ring. Like, if you had an option to take it off. Because a lot of times I'm running it, I just want the +1 movement. I don't really want the Kanto. More so when I'm setting up defense teams, because having the unit Kanto away is typically not beneficial for defense teams. But it is what it is. So this dumbass defense here with Burger King over here, Tweedledee, and then Tweedledum with their ability to basically tank the entire game is just really stupid, and there's no strategy at all to this defense. It's just run a bunch of tanks and watch the enemies crash into them and not be able to do anything. It's a literal train wreck, this defense. There's no strategy, no thought at all. I'm running 3 defensive mythic heroes only for the stats. I don't care if Haythrun is there giving Nectar. It doesn't matter. This guy already gives Nectar, essentially, with Reflex and Imbue. I guess King Freyr deserves to be here, because he still penalty cleanses. He could still save our ass against, like, Bride Embla, or if a unit like that might show up. And then Athos is here because he gives us the bonus slot, and the unit who we have coming in on the bonus slot is another dumbass armored unit. So we have Needhogger here with the Celica ring. She could catch people off guard with the Celica ring, which is why I gave her that. And then also, she could actually provide us another Farsaver because, as I mentioned before, Aaliyah will do shenanigans to herself and end up getting away from everybody, which we don't really want. So having another Farsaver over there is actually pretty clutch when that comes in later on in the match. So, yeah, I do not like this meta. I don't like the fact that this works. Like, the fact that a defense like this works, I have no offensive units at all here. Literally, this guy, I mean, he's kind of an offensive unit, but he's not there for offense. He's just there for the bonus slot. And I guess also the stats and the defense. But there is no plan. There is nothing here. At least the other armor ball that I was running, like the one that was made in Japan, that defense, at least there's a strategy where you set it up so that your units do not move. It just kind of sucks that the units will move, though, under certain circumstances. This defense, everyone's going to move. Like, we have no plan. It's just put them there and watch them go to town. So, without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and take a look at some of these replays and see how people were able to fare here. Let me also make sure that the animations are turned off. Otherwise, we're going to be here forever. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a long one. So if you guys are interested in long showcases, here you go. Okay, so this guy, he's going to go in with a baiting strategy. So we have there the Mythic Needhogger, who's, I guess she's an okay option, but I wouldn't necessarily run her as the main bait unit, because her being a Mythic hero, you can't give her stat blessings, so that kind of lowers her value. She is a good debuffer, though, so I still like her as an offensive Mythic hero. Alright, so Needhogger Haythrun comes in. Alright, there, Aaliyah actually made good use of the Nectar there, because she drew back and then she attacked, but then she Kantos all the way to the side. I really hate that, like I mentioned before. But hopefully now with the Emblem Micaiah ring, that's not going to be an issue anymore. Alright, so he breaks the healing tower, debuffs with Needhogger, but really there's nothing this guy can do. He's just at our complete mercy. And this is not good game design, by the way. Like, if we've come to a point where it's literally just all armored units, that's the only thing anyone's using. Like, it doesn't matter if you're playing offense or if you're playing defense. Just running all of these armored units is the way to go. Like, what happened to the offense? Where's the offense? Where's, like, baby Camilla? Even she, you rarely see anymore when people are doing nonsense like this. Alright, do we really need to keep watching this? I mean, we already got our KO, and we know that this guy doesn't go for the win. In the interest of saving time, we're going to go ahead and end this one here, but we did win that one because we KO'd actually 2 units there. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Kha'Zix over here. Okay, so he has Elm, which doesn't really do him much good because my 3 units in front are all basically impenetrable. We do have Athos over here. You can go up the right-hand corner, and you can player phase Athos, and you can player phase King Freyr. You would need, like, baby Camilla to do it, because she's the only one that's going to be able to reach that far. But, man, is that actually something that a lot of people are going to be able to do? Probably not. I think one person in these replays did do it, though, so shout-outs to him. But, like, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to go all the way up there. Alright, so Alear, Plumeria, Sigurd, Baby Camilla, Regan, and Elm. Most of his units don't even have assists or sacred seals. So you already know this guy doesn't really care. Like, he ain't playing to fight defenses like this. He's just playing to have a good time. Which he's not going to have, sadly. Okay, I'm not sure what he's waiting on here. He's going to have to do something soon. He didn't bring any bait units either, so he's going to have to try to player phase, but it's not going to work out too well. And now Needhogger came in and she can warp. So that just adds even more pressure. Okay, so he has the Duo Plumeria there, which is able to do a lot of debuffing and dancing, and then the exposure drive support, which is really good. Alright, so there finally someone was able to kill Burger King at least. But I think I've said this in other videos, but I think Camilla is really the only offensive unit you can run right now. Because, like, she's the only one that has the firepower needed to beat a lot of these jackasses. Alright, and then, unfortunately, it took so much out of his offense that he ended up leaving units in the way, and then we were able to get our 2 cheeky KOs there. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. He fought to the very end, but he lost, obviously. All right, we got another one over here. Okay, so this time we have Thor. We got Emblem Lin. We've got Burger King. We have the Atun Tharja. And then we have Saint Elamine and Emblem Sigurd. Okay, so once again, Burger King. Probably the most polarizing... Well, not polarizing, but the most, like, domineering unit that we've seen in a while since, like, Emblem Ike. When the best way to defeat a unit is to use the same exact unit, like, the best way to answer Burger King is to use your own Burger King, I think we've gone to the point where there has been a failure in game balance. Not that that's never been a thing in Fae, but, like, at this point, it's just been taken to a hilarious degree where... Actually, no, it's not hilarious. This is not funny. It's just not fun. It's not funny. All right, we were able to get our sneaky KO there with the warping Needhogger. I'm actually surprised that Atun Tharja couldn't beat her, because she does nullify specials, right? But, yeah, I mean, I think we've seen enough over here. This guy, he's not going to be able to win. And then we get another KO there with Needhogger. This is so dumb. Like, this is actually stupid. The whole game has turned into eat glue. I like offense because at least offense requires thinking. Like, you got to plan out your positioning, and you got to plan out, like, how you want to go about attacking and all that. Like, maybe sometimes you got to do something sneaky, like going up the right side, like I mentioned earlier. So, offense promotes healthy gameplay. Defense like this is just stupid. And I can't even find a good way to, like, run offensive units on a defense team anymore. Because if Burger King shows up and, like, Duo Alir or Fallen Alir, if these two show up and you're just running, like, Baby Camilla by herself without really setting her up, she's unable to beat them. So, that, like, if she can't do it, then no one can do it. So there's, like, no point in running offense units on defense teams anymore. It's really sad. Like, this is actually just dumb. I've said the word dumb like 50 times here, but you guys get the picture. I need to really drive that point home here. Anyway, why don't we talk about something fun? What, like, did you guys do Title Update 2 yet for Monster Hunter? Because I thought it was actually really good. We fought Legaia Cruz for the first time since, like, Try, which I actually started playing Monster Hunter in World. So I never got to hunt Legaia Cruz until now, which was definitely bittersweet because I loved everything about that fight. That was a really well done fight. So you fight him in the forest, and he has his own, like, unique nest now all the way at the back of the forest, hidden behind the waterfall. And it looks really good. Like, the graphics are really cool in there. It's very beautiful. The lighting is cool because it's like a gemstone cave, and there's like a jade lighting echoing throughout the cave, and the water in the backdrop looks really cool. It was just pretty. And then he goes underwater, like right before he's about to die, he dives underwater, and you got to go chase him back onto land underwater. And the underwater was pretty fun, too. I know a lot of people actually hate it, but I don't know. I thought it was interesting. And it looks really cool. Like, it's kind of like watered down, though. It's not like real combat. It's more so of an ooh and ah kind of thing, like just to get your visual impressions on it the first time. But yeah, I mean, they got me. I was going ooh and ah, so I thought it was pretty cool. And then we also had Seregios in the update. He was like whatever, because we've already fought him in Monster Hunter Rise. So like, he wasn't new or anything. I actually think his fight was worse. I liked him better in Monster Hunter Rise, where he's really fast. He aggroes you a lot more. In this game, they slowed him down a bit. But yeah, I mean, he was whatever. He was alright. It wasn't like the biggest deal. Okay, so that was this guy over here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our first loss of the night. So, or I guess first loss of the day, because it is. I'm like all time messed up, discombobulated because of like how long I stayed up last night. So we got Ashura there. We got Thor. Burger King. Literally, Burger King is his only unit that is of a threat. Like, Legendary Alir. Look at this build. Like, he doesn't even care about her himself. And then we got Ashura, Refined Ashura, and not even Refined Thor, Allied Axe Thor. What is... Yeah, this guy... Wait, hold on. Let's see here. So it basically gives drive, attack, and defense 4 to allies in 2 spaces. I guess that makes sense, because, like, she's already giving drive support with World Breaker, so you just want to double up on that. If you're not going to run her to player phase, which this guy has no intentions of doing, then I guess, yeah, that does actually make sense. All right, then we have Attuned Micaiah, who can penalty cleanse, and then we have Needhogger as the near save, and then we have Burger King as the far save. All right, so what is this guy going to do here? All right, obviously, we're not going to move yet because he has to get in range. So it looks like he's going to just stand on that defense tile and just leave Burger King right there. And Burger King will be successful. We've already seen from the spoiler of this fight that this guy does win. All right, Hector comes in first. And neither unit really is able to do anything to the other. This is where, like, having the Kanto on Alear really sucks, because she's going to Kanto away. She actually did a number on him there. But I don't like that she Kantos all the way to the right. Like, that... Breaking formation like that is not what we want here. Okay, goes for a sacrifice heal on Burger King. That's different. I mean, he did get his ass beat a little bit there by the units that were coming in. I wonder if there's a way that we could have actually killed him on that turn. Like, if I had a different build or, like, some kind of different setup on one of the units, maybe we could have beat him. Because he barely lived, right? Like, I think he only lived because he was on that defense tile. Unfortunately, I can't really come up with a different map to run at the moment. Like, if you're going to run, like, all armored units and the ball-up strat where they're not going to move doesn't work, like, I think this is probably the best map. Because all of the tree tiles are just hindering to Emblem Erica, who is really the only other unit that maybe could do something besides Camilla. And it's not like any of the maps are hindering to Camilla either, so... like, this is really the only option, I guess. Maybe Spring Breeze might be able to work, but... yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have to think about that a little more. But, again, this team... requires absolutely zero thinking here. It might be a little better on, like, Dark Season, because when we can run Lay Radar, like, having him inflict assigned decoys, so it's a little harder to just, like, tank with the same unit over and over. Like, you wouldn't be able to have units close by to give support. Like, this guy is running Allied Axe Thor. He wouldn't be able to do that if we were hitting him with assigned decoy. So... yeah, probably a better way to run this would be in Dark Season. But I don't even know, man. We desperately need some more offensive units that are just better than Baby Camilla at this point. Because they really goofed up by making the armored units be the best support units. Because, like, there's no reason not to just cram your team up with armored units if that's the case. Let me know what you guys think about the current meta. Do you think I'm just crying about this, or if I'm, like, being a baby? Or do you think I'm right? Like, how are you enjoying or not enjoying the current meta that we're in? You let me know. You tell me. Because if I say it, I'm just being a whiny crybaby, apparently. Alright, so he's able to win there. I don't know. That seemed a little shaky. Like, without the defense tile, I don't know if he actually would have been able to tank with Burger King there. But... I mean, he did win. A win is a win. All right, here's another one. Okay, so we have Baby Camilla. I think this is the guy that went up the left-hand corner, or the right-hand corner. So let's see how he's able to do it. Also, he's got their Shadow Shift Camilla, which is interesting. Yeah, it's not like she really needs Guidance 4 for anything, so you're free to go ahead and run that if you want. Okay, then we have Noir. Rearm Noir. And then we got Emblem Erica, which is the reason why this map is... actually, a lot of people are running this map, probably because it hinders Erica. Alright, then we got the Duo Plumeria, we got regular Mythic Plumeria, and then we have Regan over there. Okay. Alright, would be nice if I had Kanto control. If I had Kanto control on Athos, I think it would actually be probably impossible to go up the right corner. Unfortunately, I do not currently have the fodder to give him that. Yeah, because, like, you wouldn't be able to break the structure in front of him and then be able to cancel away. So, yeah, like, he's able to do it here, which, I mean, that's something that I noticed as a possible weakness for this defense, but Kanto control probably fixes it, but then if they have legendary Sakura, it doesn't matter anyway. So, like, how much of a fix is Kanto control, really? Probably not much. Now, what's sad, though, is that this guy had such a nice offense here. He went up the right-hand corner, which not a lot of people were probably able to do, and he still loses. Like, that's just not fun. That is not okay, man. You came up with a good offense, and it doesn't matter. Okay, so Camilla takes out Needhogger. Kanto's away. Looks like she's going to take out Hector as well, and then Kanto away. All right, so we actually are running out of offensive options here. We just have basically Burger King and Alear left. And Camilla is tearing a swath through all of our units here. How is it that this guy actually lost? Because it seems like he's winning, right? Like, what happened here? I'm actually stumped now. Yeah, and Alear is not doing us any favors by drawing back and then Kantoing herself like a mile away. Like, we would want her to stay close to Burger King. Alright, so Noir versus Alear. Noir is unable to get the job done. Yeah, really, it's only Camilla who's got the firepower to beat these idiots. Alright, Plumeria goes for a dance. Dances on Noir, and then Noir attacking Burger King. That's interesting. She survived the brave attack there. Alright, Camilla gets rid of Alear, and did he run out of time? Yeah, he did. Oh, wow. I think he would have been able to win next turn. It's hard to say, though, because I feel like if Camilla could have killed Burger King, he probably would have did that on this turn, but, like, did he even have enough support? I don't even know. That one is questionable. I feel like he probably should have won that one, but I think he just ran out of time. Okay, we have Thunderous up next. Thunderous, shoutouts to Pokemon once again. And like I said, that's Summer Cynthia, who I'd been waiting my whole life for. Alright, Burger King over there. Plumeria, Thor, and then Alphonse. Wow. Is Alphonse a bonus season right now? Because otherwise, why is he running Alphonse? Oh, man, you know that's pain when your bonus hero for the season is Alphonse. Or like Anna and Sharena. That's how you know it's going to be a rough season. Okay, so one weakness, I guess I should mention this too. One problem Burger King kind of has is that if he's not able to finish you off on the counterattack with his special, he's kind of in danger for the next like set of attacks that you're going to do. So he's actually weak kind of against these bulky armored units that can survive his like initial hit. Because after his special goes off and then you're still alive, like, that's when he really starts to have problems. So just putting him up there and expecting him to bait all of these armored units that can survive his first attack is actually not the safest thing in the world. Like, as we see here, like, look, Hector is actually doing a number on him, as is Alear and, like, all of our other guys. So, yeah. Like, it is kind of a problem there that he has. There we go for the double drawback with Alear there, and then Needhogger comes in. Alright, Elm unable to do anything. What else is new? Okay, Sakura came in as his extra slot unit. Just sets up some tiles, but he's wasting a lot of time here. Alright, yeah, you see that? Like, that's exactly what I mean there. If he did not have that defense tile to stand on, he actually would have died to Needhogger. So, maybe I should try a different map. Because so far, I think at least 2 people really benefited from that defense tile. Maybe if there's no defense tile for them to use, maybe this works a little better. But what other map could I use, though? That's the thing. Like, there's not really a lot of good maps. I really wish they would let us build our own defense map. Like, just give us a set amount of obstacles that we can place. Like, maybe we get, like, 2 trees or, like, 2 mountains or whatever. And then we get only 1 access to 1 wall. Because having any more than 1 wall would just be OP. So they give us 1 wall, but we can place it wherever we want. And then, obviously, people are going to use it in devious ways to combo with the fortress. So you can make a choke point somewhere. And then, like, because I really don't want any defense tiles, but I want, like, trees, I want mountains, I want obstacles, but none of the current defense maps have a good setup that I like. All right, so we got how many more? 3 more to go, and then we can hop out of here. All right, let's go through these really quick. So we have here Plumeria, we got Camilla, Thor, Edelgard, the Valentine Edelgard, Altina, and then Elm. This is a combo I like to use. So, the Valentine Edelgard and Camilla combo. It seems like it's probably better to run Duo Plumeria with Baby Camilla if you're going to do this, though. Because her, like, that Duo Plumeria actually gives you a little bit more out of the support than just ending Edelgard's action. Yeah, so we just, everyone just draws back and just kind of stays in place there. All right, Camilla, if Camilla's unable to kill anybody there, then yeah, this guy seems like he's going to be in trouble here. All right, another turn, he gets the fence to go off. All right, so Emblem Lynn comes in. Camilla goes in against Rhea and finishes her off. All right, then Lynn takes out Freyr. Okay. But he's going to have to do something about the main units. It doesn't matter if you kill Athos and you kill King Freyr and, like, all of those guys. You still got to do something about Burger King and Alir. All right, so he surrenders right there. He lost his unit. All right, next up we have Ekra. All right, Altina, Needhogger, Emblem Lynn, Burger King, Bride Katria, and Arcane Layla. All right, so let's see how this one goes. Yeah, once again, I mean, he's got offensive units. He's got Emblem Lynn, and he's got Bride Katria, but he's just going to rely on Burger King for this. What a stupid unit, man. What the hell were they thinking with him? Like, giving Imbue as a support that neutralizes Fatal Smoke, like, which would be the only counter, really, to pre-combat healing? Like, why? Why did they do that? Oh, my God. Okay, so right there, I mean, that, I guess, exemplified what I was trying to say earlier. Like, if you can dogpile on Burger King with a bunch of these units that can survive Pitch Black Luna and then get to still attack him afterwards, like, that's when he can actually start to struggle a bit, and we saw that in full force right there. And then we have this final replay against Eevee here. More Pokemon. All right, so we have Alir, Legendary Alir, Mythic Ashura, Saint Elamine, Thor, and then Burger King and Needhogger. New Year Needhogger. All right, last one. Let's see what this guy is able to do. All right, we're not going to move right now because no one's in range. All right, puts Saint Elamine all the way up there. I guess it doesn't matter because he's got save skills on his units, but it wouldn't be possible in Dark Season if we've got Lay Radar here. All right, more shenanigans. All right, Alir just 0-0. How you like that? Like, a round of combat where both you and the opponent are just doing 0 damage to each other. And it's not like it matters, because after combat, then you just heal like 20 HP. Real fun game design, Faye. Awesome game design. How you like that 0-0-0-0 interaction? 0-6-0. And then she healed 10. All right, how about this one? 0, 15, 0. And then we heal, so it doesn't matter. This is dumb, man. Why do we play this game? What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives? Is this our idea of fun? Oh my god. I was so hopeful that the Emblem Micaiah was going to be our savior to this bullshit. But initial testing, it doesn't look like it. But at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think her base kit is the way to go. I really wish they gave her a better base kit, too. Like, they gave her swap. A lot of people were complaining about that. And I get why, but, like, at the same time, they couldn't have given her a new assist or something. If she was a Chrom unit or a Lucina unit, they would have gave her a new assist. Like, what's the deal? Why do they get to have new assists? And then her Ward C skill, like, that one just doesn't really seem like it's that good. Okay, this one's just going on forever. You like this combat where it's just a car crash and no one does it? It's a car crash where no one gets hurt. It's like we're test dummies in a car crash here. Yeah, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All right, 22, 19. Ooh, we actually saw some damage there. Ooh, interesting. Never seen that happen before. And there we saw some damage too. Okay, so we are seeing some numbers, but we're not seeing KOs, and then he just gives up. I really don't blame him. Like, I would have lost my mind if I was in his shoes right there. So, yeah, that's going to wrap us up for this video, guys. I don't even know what to say. Like, this, we desperately need a meta shakeup because this is just dumb. And I think, like, there are easy ways that they could go about fixing it. Like, one way would be to give us a blessable Mythic Loki, so you can just turn off all these bullshit start-a-turn bonuses. We really need that. Like, I've wanted that since, like, Duo Thor came out. I'm actually surprised they haven't dipped into the well of doing that too often. And we did have Nurgle, who gave us Essence Drain, but then they released a counter to that, which was a really bad idea, in my opinion. I don't feel like that was something that needed to be nerfed, because you look at what Essence Drain does. All it is an anti-bullshit mechanic. Like, the opponents are piling up on bullshit bonuses. Well, here's your option to take them away, right? Like, I think that's fair, because they could just not run all those bonuses if they want Nurgle to not do anything. But no, they want to be greedy. They want to pile up these units and just run like 50 start-a-turn bonuses. So we should be able to have an answer to that. Unfortunately, we don't really. I mean, you could run Duo Loki or Duo Thor still, because look at this. We don't have really a Duo's hindrance. Even if we did, it would be real easy to break. So you could pop Duo Thor's button and then turn off all our bonuses that way. But that only works once, and if you're not able to clean up on that one turn, then you're going to be in trouble afterwards. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. This is your boy Tacho signing out. We end the season. Yeah, we're not going to maintain top 1K. But by the end of the season, we're probably going to be around like 13 to 1400 rank, which we took the defense losses, so that makes sense. But yeah, that's all for this one. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.